Okay, why am I a Titans fan? Well, I was an Oilers fan first. I was an Oilers fan primarily when I was a little kid because my brothers were Cowboys and Steelers fans. Of course, remember this is the late 70s, early 80s when Steelers dominated and Cowboys were America's team and all that stuff. I just like the Oilers because they were in Texas and they weren't Cowboys or Steelers. I remember "Love You Blue." I remember the shirts. I remember people singing the song. I don't really remember the games and that kind of stuff. But I was a little kid. I didn't really pay attention anyway. I really started getting into the Oilers with Warren Moon and the run and shoot days. It was around the time, kind of the end of Glanville, and then Pardee come along. Started really getting into it and really started following football so much. That put me around 12 years old, maybe, something like that. 10 years, 10 to 12, 10 to 13, somewhere in that range. Around that time, Cowboys were bad, and living in Texas, the Oilers were actually a better team there for a little bit than the Cowboys. But I had to constantly hear about how the run and shoot was a college offense. I had to constantly hear about how we had a black quarterback. And, the Oilers were inferior just because we had a black quarterback and we ran a college offense. So I did endure that shit. Then the Cowboys got good. And then and after the 93 season when Bud Adams sort of wholesale cleaned out the roster, and of course, don't forget the comeback, the Bills' comeback. I had to endure that absolute travesty and all the kidding and, well, not kidding, it's absolute bullying that brought on from being an Oilers fan. So here's my Oilers Zippo. I actually have to. I can't remember where I got this. Sometime in the 90s I got this thing. Titans fan. And just bullying, basically. By today's standards, you would call it bullying. Back then, you called it somebody just giving you a hard time. But I guess by today's standards, it would be called bullying. Then the Cowboys got good. And then, that piled on. Had to hear about how the Oilers were crap and embarrassment. The Cowboys this, Cowboys that. And it became almost vicious. If you lived in Texas, especially away from Houston, there ain't a whole lot of Oilers fans in Texas, especially when you're talking about 92, 93, 94, 95. Cowboys were definitely dominant, but they won Super Bowls. It is what it is. People almost hated you or got mad at you if you're an Oilers fan. All it just made it worse. I'm just going to dig in deeper and just become more of an Oilers fan. And then when we sucked, in 94 season, we were just absolutely abysmal. And when we sucked, I just dug in deeper. I remember one time being at the mall. I think it was like Penny's or something. And I had an Oilers shirt. It was a red shirt and had a big oil derrick across or whatever else. This guy just didn't know. A complete stranger was like, "Oilers, are you kidding me? You're a loser," and stuff. I'm only 20 years old maybe at this. No, I wasn't even 20 years old. I graduated in 94, I was 18. So, you're talking about an 18-year-old kid, 20-year-old kid. I didn't know what to deal with that stuff. The worst I remember of the bullying actually didn't happen to me. There was a kid. I was at a mall in Bryan, Texas. There's a mall there. And this kid was wearing an Oilers shirt, and this Cowboys fan was following him around the store, berating him about it. So it was definitely a bullying atmosphere if you were an Oilers fan. Of course, I just made me dig in deeper because I'm a contrarian and I'm just going to think the opposite just to piss you off and fuck with you. So it just made me more anti anything else and just be an Oilers fan. And of course I had cousins and everything else that picked on me. I have people on my list that the Titans go to the Super Bowl. They're not coming to my house for a Super Bowl party. I'm not even joking. They're not allowed in the house. Because if they so much as even say anything for the other team, I'm beating ass. I'm wholesale beating ass. Then the Oilers moved. And then had to deal with that embarrassment of, losing, leaving Texas. It's just, it's a complete disaster. It's hard. It wasn't easy to be an Oilers fan. It's not easy at all. It's a tough franchise to be a fan of. And then, of course, the Texans come in. They give Texans a bazillion-dollar stadium and couldn't give Bud Adams a few bucks. Anyway, so when they became the Tennessee Oilers, there for like 2 years, my brother had moved to Nashville around that same time. He would send me tapes and clothes and things like that. And then when I was like, man, I didn't want to change the name. I wanted to be the Tennessee Oilers. I didn't want to become the Tennessee anything else. They became the Titans. I was kind of like, God, it's the end of an era. I don't know who I'm going to root for. I'll just keep rooting for them. I stuck with them this long. I'll just keep following through Tennessee, this journey. And of course, the first year we got a Super Bowl. And a lot of people could just go eat a dick after that because we went to a Super Bowl. Then, after that, we were actually legitimate, through the 2000s, we were a legitimate contender for a long, long time. Went to playoffs numerous times, a few AFC championships and things like that. So we were a legit team at that point. Still waiting to get the ring, but it is what it is. But anyway, I'm basically a Oilers Titans fan because of a bunch of fucking bullies. So I say that to say, if you're out there and people berate you for supporting your team, just look them in the eye and tell them to go eat a dick and then tighten up.